Welcome back and experience the action here at Phakisa Freeway for Extreme Festival of Motorsport. And now we head into the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. Coming into this round, the championship is wide open. Terry Wolford coming in with a little bit of a slender lead and a bit of a target on his back as Mackie Adlam tries to just regain a bit more points after having a bit of an up and down start to the season. David Coetzee will be looking for a chance to maybe run a little bit higher up than what he has so far. But the man to watch out for today is certainly going to be Frank Di Matteo, and look out for Thomas Reeb. Those two out of Di Matteo Racing have put in some great laps and testing has gone right. Here we go for the race start though. It's a rolling start, the rolling thunder of V8s. Head down towards turn 1 here at Phakisa Freeway, and leading the Mobil 1 V8s into turn 1, it's Di Matteo, the Italian stallion, hit the front. Around the outside, it's a great start there from Thomas Reeb. We're on board here with Mackie Adlam. Mackie Adlam, having a chat to him just before this race, has banked on using old tyres this time out and not going to be using his new ones. He's going to keep that for the next round as they get under braking for turn 2. Big pressure from the Fuchs Falcon as Terry Wolford starts to put his nose in there. The back of the field, the Pry Instrumentation Corvette there of Steve Herbst. Adlam applying pressure, diving through for second, gets past Reeb. Reeb drops back to third place now into the clutches of the hard-charging Wolford. But behind Wolford, the most hard-charging of them all right now, JP Nokia, coming from a victory at the previous round, certainly fired up and looking for a chance now to take on the usual contenders. This is the rookie. We're on board here with Thomas Reeb. He's just ahead of that rookie man and looking for a chance now to go back at Mackie Adlam. Into Uncini, number 1. And in fourth gear in a V8, it'll be about 160 odd k's an hour. They'll carry that speed onto the back straight, get to about 240 by the time they get to where the Deltic Batteries Jaguar peels into the right-hander. And Di Matteo getting away. That handling on the car is absolutely to perfection. That's his hill climb car. He's just come from the Jaguar hill climb where he won his category and now looks for a chance to win this category out. It's the reason he missed the last round. He was keeping that car for the hill climb. So here we go. Now leading ahead of a man on old rubber. And then it's Thomas Reeb taking on the Fuchs Falcon there of Terry Wolford. JP Nokia all of a sudden in with a shot. Behind him, it's Familiaris, Julian Familiaris, having one of the best runs we've seen out of him so far in a V8 supercar. Stepping up from the BMW Car Club series and now running in full V8s all the time. And he's loving that Corvette of his. Just behind him, keep an eye out on David Coetzee, another man who stepped up into V8s from the BMW Car Club series. All problems there for Herbst's car. A little bit of smoke coming off the back of the car. Not quite sure if that's engine smoke or maybe a bit of body rub on the tires. We'll have to wait and see, and hopefully not dropping any liquids onto the surface. This is a great battle. Chevy Lumina versus the Ford Falcon. V8s of Olja and battling very, very hard. As you can see, Wolford diving on the inside. Bit of a lubricants battle as well. Mobil 1 taking on the Fuchs car as they dive through, and Wolford wants through big time. He is looking left, right, and possibly even going through the center if he can, but can't quite make it stick. Oh, a small mistake there from Reeb. Opens up the door. Will that be a chance? Will that be an opportunity there for Wolford to go through? No, he can't make it stick. Reeb making a slight mistake there. That lock diff just getting a little bit sideways. And now coming up into Uncini 1. Closing on Adlam. Adlam might be feeling the effects of the worn rubber. Although this circuit is not really a massive concern here. And Adlam was chatting to me saying that he wasn't too worried. He knew he could run the pace if he could just get to the front. And that's exactly what he's done. So it's Jaguar 1 and 2. Then it's Chevy versus Ford for 3 and 4. Behind that is the Corvette. So we've got 2 Chevy-powered cars in the top 5 and 3 Ford-powered cars in that top 5 as well. I don't think anybody's going to have an answer here to the Deltic Batteries Black Cat here of Di Matteo. He's got a plain and very cool, calm and collected driving style. And watch out for him as he just starts to eke open a big margin over Adlam in second place. Adlam's not too worried about the third place because I think those two are fighting too hard to make any inroads into his small gap. But it, of course, can all change up very rapidly. Wolford now applying the pressure onto Reeb. Reeb just soaking it up. There's a change up. Kampan using out. Skull Kampan losing out there to the instrumentation car. And it is body rub there on that tire. It's nothing to worry about, but I'm sure the COC will be still considering that. Oh, big worry though for Wolford. Wolford's overcooked it down into turn 2. Big flame out of the side of that car, but Wolford gets it going and fired up. And he gets back on track, but that is going to cost him dearly. He's dropped big time down. About 3 positions he's lost there, and Wolford will have to come back and see if he can find his way back, first of all, onto Familiaris, and secondly, onto Reeb, who we see in shot right now in that Cafe 9 Automotive Red Bull and Mobil 1 car. Wolford now has got ahead of David Coetzee in the Mobil 1 grid car. That's Steve Herbst and Zach. Oh, this is super stuff. And Tony Marks now applying pressure. He's in the 4th Jaguar on track, and the Zato car having a better run here in the latter part of race 1. Let's see if he's able to make his way through and maybe find a way past Steve Herbst. Season campaigner in Herbst. Mackie Adlam, he is the champion. Remember the A1 car? That is definitely where he wants to be, and he's going to be the man to beat here this season, and the man with his target on the back. But Di Matteo is certainly flying high and getting away and showing him the way around. A little bit of extra rubber, of course, available to him. It is going to help him out. So Dimito leads from Adlam as they cross the line. Thomas Reeb all on his own sim, and now all of a sudden under a bit of a threat there from that green Mamba coming in the background. The N4 auto body car coming through as they start the final lap and could potentially spoil the day here for Reeb. Reeb's got problems. Reeb is running wide. Looks like he might have overcooked his tires a bit there. And a little bit of issue there for Reeb coming out of turn 1. That might open up the door there for Nokia, who's right on his tail. Look out for either a left or right. Green Mamba, the N4 autocraft car coming through and possibly spoiling the day here for Thomas Reeb. There you go. Reeb runs wide again. Reeb has got an issue. Maybe a small back puncture there, I think. It's starting to slip and slide all over the place. And there comes the Corvette. So capitalizing on the little bit of bad luck there for Thomas Reeb. In fact, I think it's the second time that Reeb's had that issue where the back tire's gone just slightly flat and doesn't get the grip that he needs. So he's going to have to just nurse that one to the line. Hopefully keep him up in 4th place. Keep out Familiaris. Having a look in the background. I can't see Jules' car there. But he's, of course, in 5th place now, ahead of Terry Wolford, who's still on the recovery road. Look at that. There's not another car in sight as that Black Cat peels into the fastest corner here at Phakisa. And the second Jaguar, long way back there in the hands of Mackie Adlam. They're going to have to do something about this car in race number 2. No one's going to have an answer. Remember, it'll be an inverted grid for race number 2. But race 1 is going to go the way of the Italian Stallion. And Dimito comes through pretty, absolutely to perfection, actually, coming across the line there to take the win. He wins out over Adlam. JP Nokia comes through for 3rd place. Thomas Reeb managed to hang on for 4th, ahead of Familiaris. And then it was Wilfred Herbst and David Kutsia. Let's catch up with race 1 winner, Franco Dimito.
Look, we knew the car, after the hill climb, we knew the car was superb on the back suspension because I needed to work on that to get out of the corners. And I tell you, we hit the car spot on. I knew Thomas, Mackie and Teddy were going to squabble, and I knew I had to get away with it, and it's exactly what happened. I mean, I just pulled the gap, and they were squabbling over 2nd and 3rd. So that made me just cruise home at the end of the day, save my tires for heat 2. So yeah, that was a good win, eh?
Welcome back to Phakisa Freeway, and more action now from the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. See a little bit of work being done on some of these cars to get them ready for race number 2. Old rubber means you've got to try and get as much grip out of it as possible. I think that Mackie Adlam will be looking to try and capitalize as much as he can. I don't think he's going to take a win here today, but you never know what happens in a V8 Supercar race. And with the inverted grid now, it could change things up dramatically. Terry Wolford with a big mistake right in the closing stages. He'll look to turn his luck around and hopefully get to the front as quickly as possible. As they come around now, the Rolling Thunder making their way down towards the start line. David Kutsia will lead things out with Julian Familiaris alongside him. Let's see what's going to happen as the lights go out, and they do. Wolford peels to the inside line, trying to dive on the inside, trying to get through there on Thomas Reeb. Reeb just shuts the door. Familiaris goes side by side with Mackie Adlam as they go into turn 2. But out front, David Kutsia manages to hang on, and he has got a great start coming out on 20 marks. And 20 marks getting eaten up, though, almost instantaneously there by Mackie Adlam. Now, 2 teammates from Lotus Register. This time, no worries at all. Kutsia moving directly to the outside line, giving Adlam a chance to dive on the inside, and then goes defensive to keep out on 20 marks. Skulky Kampon at the back end there. Good to see him back on track. He had some problems in race number 1. That car's now been sorted out. Hopefully we'll make it all the way to the end of race 2. It looks like Wolford's battling to get through. So is Dimito. Dimito forces his way on the inside of Wolford. Brings Julian Familiaris along for the ride. JP Nokia is moving up into 3rd place. Gets through there on... a bit of wide driving coming up on 20 marks. But in 20 marks staying out of trouble. This is Dimito's point of view as they head towards Uncini. Can he find a way through on the inside of this Fuchs Falcon? Late braking coming out of Terry Wolford. Diving into Uncini 1 onto the back end of Marks. Marks hangs on. The Deltec Batteries car giving us a great shot here of the speed through Uncini 1 and Uncini 2 and what they carry onto the back straight. That takes them up to about 240 k's an hour before they peel it into the right-hander at the end of the straight. And it's Nokia with Reeb. Marks and, whoa, nice move there from Dimito. Just forcing David Kutsia onto the outside line. Very hard line to take through that fast right-hander. Now, out of heel cup, it's Wolford who's sideways. Trying to find a way back through the Deltec Batteries car. Can't find it just yet. Marks keeps them both at bay. It's Jaguar versus Jaguar, and Dimito runs a little bit wide there in the Deltec Batteries car as he comes onto the main straight, completes another lap. And now onto the brakes, looking for a way through on Marks. Marks opens up the door. That might be a chance there for Di Matteo to squeeze through. No, not this. He wasn't close enough there. Julian Familiaris was. He dived on the inside and finds a way past on David Coetzee, or goes side by side with him as they head towards the kink. So out front, it's Adlam. Second place, Nokia. Then you've got Reeb. Reeb hoping that the tyres last all the way to the end. And now Marks hanging on for fourth place and fighting off some usual contenders in this category with 2 seasoned campaigners right on his tail. This is going to be a hard task there for Anthony Marks, trying to keep out Frank Di Matteo and Terry Wolford. Those two certainly know where to place a car around Phakisa. Marks will know how to put a BMW around here. Not quite sure if he's quite up to pace yet in the big Jag, but he's definitely having a good run. There's no doubt about it. He is keeping those 2 boys behind and doing a super job. Oh, eventually just loses out. Di Matteo just finds that inside line up towards a small left-hand kink before they get into Unchini 1 and makes the move stick. Now he's got that gap to bridge. Not going to be easy to do. Not while he's only lonesome. Look at that. As they come onto the back straight, that's 1, 2, and 3. There's 4, 5, and 6 in the background, led out by the Black Cat, the Deltic Batteries Jaguar there of Franco Di Matteo. The Italian Stallion has got through on Marks. Can Wolford do the same thing now as they head towards Geelkop? Double right hand at the end of the circuit, and watch for the inside line there coming out of Wolford. He'll try and dive on the inside to get through on Anthony Marks. 1, 2, and 3 equidistant apart. He hasn't found a way through just yet. So Wolford seems to be battling a little bit there. Maybe just can't find the line, can't find the braking, but Anthony Marks is doing an absolutely amazing job in that Zardo Jaguar. It's Jaguar from Corvette, from Chevy Lumina. Ooh, in the background, Coetzee out of shape, and Familiaris just missed him. Very, very close between the two of them. The 2 ex-BMW Car Club guys having a fantastic dice here. Remember, Coetzee, of course, is the teammate to Mackie Adlam when it comes to the Lotus register. So he drives in numerous amounts of cars. Loving his life here in this big V8 as well. The Mobil 1 grid car there of David Coetzee. The Mobil 1 Cafe 9 automotive machine in third place, with Thomas Reeb trying to close down on Nokia. Wolford still has not found a way through. What has Anthony Marks been eating in between the races? It's certainly paying off, and is doing a super job here in fourth place. Out front, he's got a chance of possibly running there with that Deltic Batteries Jaguar if he can stay with him. But it looks like at this point, it is Franco Di Matteo pulling away from the battle there between Wolford and Marks. Skalki Kampan all on his own at the back end here. Looks like there might be a little bit of an issue. He's slowing down slightly and battling a bit in that Hurricane automotive machine. So you're not quite getting the lines there in that Falcon. Now as they get onto the back straight, it is Anthony Marks still ahead of Wolford. No change there. Mackie Adlam opened up a little bit more of a margin. But I think with those tyres starting to feel the effects of racing, JP Nokia may have just put in a slightly faster lap. And you can see, look at the gap. It's come down dramatically. That gap is closed, not only between second and third, as you can see, Reeb is right on the wing there of that green Corvette, but also the gap between first and second. And it looks like Reeb and Nokia going on the attack, almost as a team, to fight the reigning champion, Mackie Adlam. Adlam, who hangs on to the lead right now, slender lead at this stage as he comes out of turn 1. Mackie Adlam is out front, but this is Di Matteo trying to close down on the front end of this field. And he has got his work cut out for him here. There is no doubt about it. You can see Reeb, that of course is his stablemate out of Di Matteo Racing, and now comes up right underneath that big wing of the Chevy Lumina there in third. He's right up there. So Di Matteo's got a chance here of possibly spoiling the day here for everybody. Big move there from Nokia. Had a big dive on the inside. Mackie saw him coming, shut the door. Big flame out of that car as he geared down and went down to first gear coming out of the boot. Now comes into Coke bottle. He's right there. Oh, change up. Di Matteo's got through. So Di Matteo found a way through in the toe of the boot and got ahead of Thomas Reeb. So it's chopping and changing here. Wolford's made him another mistake. Wolford has dropped back slightly there. He's made a mistake somewhere on track and allowed Julian Familiaris to close in on him. And Jules looks like he wants to stay ahead of Terry Wolford as he did in the first race. So Di Matteo now is the man on the move. So is Nokia. Those two cars, fastest on track after the last pass across the line. They've left Reeb a little bit further back, but they're now on the attack. More importantly, the attack for the lead coming out of JP Nokia. Di Matteo looking for a second place possibly. And maybe the overall win for the day for the Mobil 1 V8s. Oh, Reeb's got a problem. Reeb pulls to the sideline and onto the grass, across the start-finish line, and out of harm's way, hopefully. This is a big issue there for Cafe 9 Automotive, and an even bigger issue for the leader. Down into turn 1, we've got a change up for the lead. JP Nokia is at the front. I said it in the last race when he won the race. When you get that first win, they just keep coming. And it looks like there's going to be another one on the cards here for him in that N4 Autocraft car of his. That Corvette has not put a wheel wrong yet today. It had some early issues and a little bit of sort of baptism of fire for him, but now he's got to grips with it, and he certainly can run with the best of them. And two of the best are right on his tail in Jaguars. One is Mackie Adlam, the reigning champion, an ex-champion in Di Matteo. As he closes in on Adlam, Adlam is... Oh, look at Adlam. Sliding on every corner now. There is absolutely no grip left whatsoever. And you'll be thinking to yourself, maybe I should have taken my good friend Van der Faefer's Subaru to play around these days. Wilford, a little bit out of shape there as well. Terry Wilford driving the wheels and maybe a little bit too hard in that car of his. Adlam Auto Racing on board here with him as he loses second place. And Di Matteo dives through. I think he gave that away too easily for my liking. He knows that Di Matteo is quicker. He just opened up the door, allowed Di Matteo through. He's not going to try and stick with him. Maybe use him to get up there, but it's too little too late there for Mackie Adlam. He'll have to settle for third place as we're on to the last two corners of this race. Hielkop is the double right-hander. They flick it through there and then into the left-hander to take them to the start-finish line. And JP Nokia's second win in the V8 Supercars for 2019. Great drive there from the N4 Autocroft car to beat out the Deltec Batteries machine there in second place. And Di Matteo will take the overall victory for the day. But in race 2, it was JP Nokia ahead of Di Matteo. Mackie Adlam, Terry Wolford finished up ahead in fourth. And he was just ahead of Familiaris, Skull Kampan, David Kutsia and Thomas Reed. Let's catch up with our winner, JP Nokia.
We knew we had the pace. The start was a bit hectic, so I ticked a few cars off there. Then had an epic battle with Mackie, and I took Mackie, and then I just put my head down. Mackie and Franco got in a bit of a ding dong, and so I just stayed clear. Good feeling.
Great drive, but overall victory for the day was Di Matteo.
Oh, look, the guy that wins actually starts at the back of the reverse grid, and that's it, you know. And then whoever had the second fastest lap, he starts next to you. And I battled to get through past Thomas Reed. I mean, he just kept me up for a couple of laps, but eventually when I got past him, I just kept on going, and it just kept on nipping off the guys. And JP had 2 new tyres on the car, so he just had that gap, but the gap was too much for me to catch up. But I'm very happy with my team and with the Black Cat. I mean, a second place and a first overall, that's what we're looking for.